the thing that made me successful was my ability to achieve goals faster than anybody else.
Well, welcome to Coach Focus, where we focus on coaches and providing them with the experts that they need to improve their practice. And I'm really excited today. I have Kat Stancik with me, and what she's going to be talking about is, doing less but making more money. And really, this is going to be about focus. This isn't about kind of putting your feet up on the couch. But this is about doing the right things. So that's what she helps her clients do. So, Kat, thank you so much for being here today. Why don't you just tell us a little bit about your business?
My business was really born out of, it's funny because I'm pregnant right now, and so that there's a pun there. Watch out, there's a lot more headed your way. So was basically brought out because I worked in a high level consulting position, and basically what I saw were dead body dreams laying on the floor, right? So people, the higher they went, the more they gave up. And that just wasn't what I wanted. I wanted to have impact and all that good stuff. So through the course of investing in myself and, to the tune of over $250,000, having my MBA, 9 business certifications, all that great credibility, I really found out that the thing that made me successful was my ability to achieve goals faster than anybody else. It's been something I've done my entire life, and it's a real gift as it relates to being able to see what that simple path to success is for other people. So really, that's what I help people do, is fast track their results by helping them focus on the right money generating activities that makes them feel alive, increasing their impact, their income, and their influence.
Great. So what is the magic bullet? Tell us.
Well, it's actually identifying what your own magic bullets are. And it's funny that you say that, because I help people identify what their 3 magic bullets are. A lot of times people, they go out, they want to do high ticket sales. They want to, be able, even low ticket, it doesn't matter. The problem that most people have is they don't know how to communicate their value so that people say yes before getting on the phone, before getting to the sales page, right? So it's basically helping people pre-qualify themselves, helping them identify themselves as clients by raising their hand and saying, ooh, what you're talking about is interesting, and I think you may be what I need. So communicating those bullet points, being able to, overcome objections before people have that interaction. And really that comes down to being extremely visible. And I'm not talking about, streamlining your life 24/7 on Instagram. Some people do it. That's not my thing. Which brings me to the point of leveraging your strengths, not your weaknesses, right? So much of our life is focused on improving ourselves based off of someone else's standard versus embracing that thing that made us really weird in high school, right? That helps us stand out now, that people are like, yeah, I did that too. Like we mesh. So that's kind of like the secret, is really being able to bring yourself out fully without having the triggers of I'm not enough, I'm not worthy, which, a lot of coaches, because they want to help other people, get triggered by.
I think I get it. So maybe you could give us a few examples of those magic bullets.
This wasn't a client of mine, but it's such an interesting case that I always kind of share it. There was a person that I've known, and she's relatively successful. Like I say relatively because she's not earning $1 billion, right? And she's wanting to grow. So there's always that, reach that next level. And she's a visibility expert, but she actually never shows her face. She always has a caricature of herself as her profile picture, as when she does interviews. She does not like being seen, but she likes being visible. So that's that thing of like, any other person would have told her, you need to go on camera, you need to have your pictures taken, you need to have your photo on your website and branded and all that stuff. And that wasn't what she's comfortable with. Now, she may have her own triggers, whatever she needs to work through on that, but she was able to build a successful business, leveraging her strengths and being able to connect with people despite them not being able to see her, right? So one of the big things that people make a mistake on is they actually try to sell on their process, especially coaches. I'm so special. I'm so unique. I have this great way of doing XYZ, and I'm going to break it down and tell you all about it. Snooze fest. Like, no one wants to know what they need. They want to be sold on what they want. They want the result. And there's only 3 results that exist in business. Either you make more money, you have better relationships, or you're in better health. Everything ties and comes down to that. And that's what you need to communicate with your own spin. And once you connect to that, then it makes it easier to quote unquote sell. And really what I mean by selling is providing someone else the opportunity to work with you, right? I hate high pressure sales. I hate gimmicky stuff, right? I'm always full on board. This is what we're doing. Here's an opportunity. And the mindset component here is take it or leave it. If you say no, that's okay with me. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 other people who are wanting to work with me. And if you don't think this is a right fit, I'm not pushing myself on you.
So as you were talking about your story about the person who was visibility but was always a caricature, there are unique people out there. Like Casey Neistat is one of the top YouTubers, but he always wears dark sunglasses, which is a big no-no on YouTube. But it shows you that you shouldn't be copying other people, but finding what works for you, and that works for him, and it works really well for him. So finding that uniqueness is important, and that uniqueness might be completely opposed to what everyone is telling you.
Yeah, it's those polarizing things. I mean, you've gone to my website, right? Like, have you seen a website like that? It's hard. It was hard for me to come out in that way, right? But it was through a process of, having played it safe, right? Playing it safe means that you're drowning in the field of faces, right? You're not standing out, and people can't say, "Oh, wow, she went through that. I went through that." That makes me feel more connected to that person. We all know what it is, but we're just afraid of it, right? Afraid of really putting ourselves out there, because when we did that in grade school and high school, we got bullied, we got told, we got shamed. We were told that that's not normal. That's not okay. You have to comply. And now people are saying, yeah, you need to be different in order to succeed. Well, I was told I would fail if I was different. That's what corporate America tells me to do, right? I must, check the box. I have to fit in this thing. Let go of that, right? Like, be yourself. And it's such a, like, everyone, like, you see me rolling my eyes, you have to be authentic, but like, you do, right? Because when you're you, people are attracted to that on an energetic level, right? They can see past the BS. Have you ever seen a really amazing offer and we're like, wow, that's really cool, but something was just not right? Right? Like, those testimonials seemed a little inflated, or that seemed like too much value, or something was off. People can pick up on it energetically. So if you show up as yourself, they're not rejecting you. I'm going to use a little example. Think about when you go to the grocery store and you pass all those things. You didn't buy the mustard, you didn't buy the ketchup. Do you think Heinz is offended by the fact that you decided not to purchase that ketchup bottle that day? Because you had enough at home. Right? It's not personal, it's business, right? And so if you remember that you're here to be in a place of service, and the more you give, the more that will return to you. And I'm not saying doing free coaching and all that, but put it in perspective, right? Being in that place of service. I mean, this happens to me all the time on calls. I talk to someone and they're like, oh, okay. And they get really interested in what I'm doing. They're like, well, what would it be like to work with you? And I said, oh, no, this isn't a sales call. We're just getting to know each other. If you want to talk about working with me, let's book another call. Because I don't do the bait and switch. But because I come off as having no attachment on my phone calls, the people are automatically attracted to me because they don't feel like I'm trying to sleaze my way into getting their money.
And there's so many calls that are like that. And also, what came to mind here, because this is up on YouTube, and this morning I was going through my comments, and someone had a pretty nasty comment about, how I was awful, and yeah, exactly. I had a nice reply, very polite, but now I'm like, wow, okay, that is good, because it shows, I think, really, there's a book, Primal Branding by Patrick Hanlon. Love it. And in order to build a tribe, you have to have people who love you and you have to have people who hate you. So if you aren't getting the nasty comments, then you're not, you don't have enough personality for people to really not like you. And then you might not have enough personality for people to love you and to stand out, because there are a lot of people out there where, coaches are competing against another 20 or 30,000 coaches or something like that. You must stand out. So you need to have a niche, and you need to, people need to know, like, and trust you. And yeah, so let's jump into sales though, because, you had kind of 3 points that we talked about earlier, before the interview. And I just want you to talk more about that, because that is something, you can be the most helpful person and whatnot, but if you're not doing these 3 things, then you're not going to have a sustainable business.
That's why I like kind of the coaching approach that I take, which is very much a coach and consultant approach. And a lot of people are like, you're one or the other. And I'm like, no, like I like the fact that I know what you need to do in order to be successful, but I can coach you over the mindset. But if you're just doing one or the other, you're not going to get that level of success. You need kind of like that power combination. And there's the one thing that I found that has been consistently true, not only for myself, right? Like I started seeing massive shifts in my business when I was like, all right, I'm going to accept this as my truth. And then when I started teaching my clients how to do that and seeing people making like six figures in 90 days, right? Taking these concepts and applying them, and whether they were earning, $500,000 or, $20,000 that year, they still saw success in multiple percentage points ROI wise, like a comma percentage. And the three things that they focus on, no matter what stage of business you're in, is always true and foundational, which is one, you have to generate leads. You got to generate leads. People are not going to, you are not big enough, I'm sorry, that people are going to come knock on your door and say, I want to work with you. Here's $20,000. If that happens once, yeah, but it's not going to happen consistently. And here's the thing, people want to create consistent money in their business. So what do? You generate leads, you have calls with people, and you close them, right? So you generate the leads, you make an offer, you close the clients essentially, right? Those are the three things that you basically need to rinse, wash, and repeat, right? Hey, I can't go out this weekend. I got to wash my hair because I got to rinse, wash, repeat the fact that I need to generate leads, have calls, and close clients. And those are skill sets. Anybody can learn them, right? That's not a gift you need to be born with. You don't need to be endowed with it. You don't need to have a trust fund to be able to access this stuff, right? You need to just practice. And that's where the coaching comes in, and that's where the consulting comes in, because you need someone to help you pinpoint what you're doing wrong, right? I had a client, 0% close rate, 0, right? Like on average, the lowest it should be 20. And basically listened to her sales call and said, you're talking 90% of the time. Shut up. Like you're triggering your client your prospect on the phone. You're talking all about you, your process, you. Sales isn't about you. It's about them. You don't need to prove yourself. You need to let them see how you can believe in them so that they can achieve results. It's as simple as that. So, having that support system is what's key, because if you could have done it yourself, you would have.
One of the books that I'm reading right now is the 12-week year, which is really about like focus and like just hone in and make it happen. And it's true though. I mean, so many of us, we read the books and you just go to the next book and you go to the next, course or something like that.
I read 3 chapters. I know this stuff.
Yeah, exactly. But it's really focusing and implementing. I know someone who had promised that they would only read like 3 books in a year. So you hear all these people who are like, I'm going to read 365 books in a year. But this person was going the opposite direction, saying, you know what, I'm only going to read 3 and I'm going to actually do stuff. So that focus is key. And yeah, you can't really provide value to your clients if you can't get them through the door and, signing on the bottom line.
I think that that's the crux of most entrepreneurs' problem, right? Is a lot of entrepreneurs have certain characteristics that are in common, right? And it's normal because that's what got them to be entrepreneurs. One, they're risk takers, right? We like to mitigate risk as much as possible. The smart ones do, at least. But we're risk takers, right? We're going to do stuff. We're going to invest and we're going to put stuff on credit cards when we don't necessarily have the money. That's a risk, right? But what people don't leverage is the fact that they need to implement, right? It's not just about taking random action and being busy. Busy doesn't increase your bottom line, right? How many times at the end of the day, you're like, wow, the day went by so fast, or I did all this stuff. And what return did that have in your business, right? Like you creating a graphic in Canva isn't going to make you $10,000. Yep. You tweaking your website with your latest program isn't going to make you $10,000 with a client, right? What's going to make you money? Reaching out, having conversations with people, generating leads, having calls, closing clients, right? So if you focus your energy down to that, you're going to achieve so much more in your business than if you have all these things that you're starting. And here's just a visual graphic, and maybe your graphic designer can do a little thing on the side here. But basically imagine a circle with all these arrows going out, right? These are all your activities that you're doing every single day. Now imagine taking all of that energy and implementing it towards achieving one goal. So you've got your circle and now you've got one arrow. one arrow that you're achieving and you're fully achieving that goal. You don't need to diversify to make yourself feel important. You don't need to diversify in order to make yourself feel like you're having an impact. You actually need to achieve the goal that you set out in order to start that impact, create that recipe for success, and then multiply it over and over again. It's as simple as that.
I love it. So let's go towards the wrap up here, and let's tell people how they can work with you to achieve this. If they need that help, if they're going beyond reading and they're ready to make it happen, how can they find you?
The best way to find me and where I provide the most value is in my Facebook group. So Profits and Purpose. You can look me under Kat Stancik. And there's a lot of things that I do that are strategic as it relates to driving people to my group, because that's it's your secret garden, right? It's where you warm people up and you have a group of people ready to buy from you because you're providing so much value. It's another, topic for another time. But that I think is probably one of the best ways to be able to get in touch with me. I'm very accessible over LinkedIn, Facebook, and all that. So you know what? Have a conversation. Like I said, I don't pitch right off the bat. I need to know if I can support you in your goals. And the only way I can do that is if I talk to you. I never promise that I can help someone unless I've talked to them.
That is wonderful. And we met over LinkedIn. And actually, I was going through your testimonials. I was like, okay, well, what kind of results has she gotten? And I found someone else that I knew. Frank Deming was in there, and I was like, oh, we have connections here. So
I need to not be a hypocrite. I need to update my testimonials. I've got so many more that I need to add on there with like comma results. So
I know someone who can help you capture video testimonials, but yeah. But this is about people getting sales, and all those things are important. You've got to have those little pieces. But yeah, focusing on sales, and that's one of the things as I'm reading the 12-week year is really focusing on it every day and not waiting till December to be like, oh my God, I need to make a lot of money. But I do want to wrap this up because we're getting close to our 20 minutes. But Kat, it's wonderful chatting with you and getting to know you. Thank you for sharing everything that you've shared with the audience. Really quick, do you have any parting thoughts for folks?
Imperfect action. Right? It doesn't have to be, you don't have to have everything figured out, laid out A to Z. Done is better than not, essentially, right? So it's kind of like Yoda should have said that. But take the action imperfectly, right? Because it's all a learning process. You're not going to do it right the first time. There, I busted your bubble. Now go out, take action, and close clients. It's as simple as that. Don't overcomplicate it.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Kat, and thank you to those who are watching right now. Hopefully this is going to help you move forward in growing your coaching practice, because there are people who need coaching, there are people who need consulting, and they need to connect with you, and you need to close them to be able to help them. But I would love for you to learn more about using video for coaching. You can click up here or click down here and hear from other experts that can help you in your coaching practice. I'll see you in the next video.